All right. It's a little later than normal getting back off of my fishing trip, but welcome back, you inglorious bastards and magnificent. It is I, Doc Camo, and we're back for another thought of the day. Get this life-giving juice. So, BitChute and Minds, right? Those are the only platforms we're pretty much left on. We're banned from Rumble for some stupid reason. They didn't give us no email. They didn't tell us. It's just sign in user band. All right, whatever. But that's why it's more important than ever that you like share, like, subscribe. Like, if you can share like on a platform like Facebook or whatever, and that we're banned on, share us out on it. Put us out there. Help us out. But the best place to actually support us is our website, as always, at www.thatsomepoint.squarespace.com. Links in the description below. You can join the email list and get access to our content directly from the website. Or you can consider becoming a member for $5 a month. Get a mug with our logo on it. Join our mug club, because that seems to be a thing everybody's doing. But more importantly, you get early access to That Some Point, our weekly podcast Monday nights. Instead, you can get it on Saturday, Sunday nights. Sometimes it goes up a little late. It's only me doing all this editing, so maybe you should look into hiring somebody, and then we can get that going better. But maybe if we get more subscriptions, we could do that. But right now, I don't think we can afford that. But anyway, you also get unfiltered access to my thought of the day. And we're looking into adding like maybe members only segments and stuff, and just beefing up what we offer, because we have to make it enticing the pot, make you guys want to click. But without further ado, we got some fuckery to talk about. We're going to talk about the Derek Chauvin trial again, specifically in reference to the city being weird and stupid. We're going to talk about Russia withdrawing its ambassador. We're going to talk about Democrats talking with China, and we're going to talk about some random subjects that I'm going to look up from recent news. So it's going to be new to me, it's going to be new to you, but we're going to talk about it here anyways. But without further ado, let's get into this Derek Chauvin stuff. Are you not working properly? It doesn't look like it. Properties. Cancel. What's the matter? Why isn't this working? Technical difficulties, and we're back. We got it working, ladies and gentlemen. That was weird. But here we are. This is from CBS News. 2 jurors dismissed from the Derek Chauvin trial already, because after learning of a $27 million settlement with George Floyd, the city of Minneapolis, before we begin, it formally unanimously gave a settlement to George Floyd's family for $27 million and $500,000 to the community around the George Floyd Memorial, which is now an autonomous zone, which means they pretty much admitted guilt before it began. That's not good. And there's reasonable doubt, and people can't be biased, and they can't be impartial. And what I say is, it's happening. Where it's becoming too. He's not going to get a fair trial. He's going to get off. He's going to get a mistrial or whatever. A judge on Wednesday dismissed 2 jurors who had been seated in the trial of a former Minneapolis police officer accused of George Floyd's death over concerns that had been tainted by the city's announcement of a $27 million settlement with Floyd's family. We just went over that. Hennepin County Judge Peter Cahill recalled 7 jurors, 7, who were seated before the settlement was announced last week, and questioned each about what they knew of the settlement and whether or not it would affect their ability to serve. Former officer Derek Chauvin's attorney, Eric Nelson, had requested the recall. The dismissal of only 2 jurors suggested the impact of the settlement on the jury pool was less than feared, likely reducing the chance of Cahill granting a defense request to delay the trial. Cahill was, really? they already asked you to move it to another city because they feared it couldn't be impartial, and it's showing that it can't be impartial, and you might not grant that. It shouldn't have been. They put it in Alaska or something, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Cahill was careful because it's public, so it's going to happen. Cahill was careful to ask jurors if they had heard the news of the settlement without giving details, saying only that there had been extensive media coverage about developments in the civil suit between the city of Minneapolis and the family of George Floyd, and asking if they were exposed to it. The first dismissed juror, a white man in his 30s, said he had heard about the settlement. I think it will be hard to be impartial, he said. People are talking, saying that he's just trying to get off or whatever. But I mean, it's true. I'd feel the same way. I don't have to because of my veteran status. I don't have to do jury duty, but maybe people like me should do jury duty because we would be more. It's not about what I feel. It's about what's going on. The sticker price obviously shocked me. The second juror dismissed said the Hispanic man in his 20s said he thought he could set the news aside, but wasn't sure. And after a long pause, Cahill dismissed him. There's a little tweet. Second juror has been lost, saying that it was shot. Yeah, of course he was. Cahill retained the 5 other jurors, including a black man in his 30s who told Cahill he heard about the settlement on the radio Friday evening, but could put it aside and decide the case only on evidence present in the courtroom. So that guy said he's like, yeah, I just won't consider that. It hasn't affected me at all because I don't know the details, he said. The juror selection had been proceeding faster than expected. And don't worry, that's not the COOF, that's the COVID, that's not the COOF virus, that's the cannabis virus, with opening statements tentatively expected March 29th at the earliest. But the 2 dismissals could imperil the start date. 9 people had been selected for the jury before Wednesday's dismissal. 14 are needed. Jesus, and they got rid of 7. Nelson called the timing of the announcement in the middle of the jury selection profoundly disturbing and not fair. About not being fair, it is what it is. 7 jurors remain, including 4 men and 3 women. 4 are white, 1 is multiracial, and 2 are black, and their ages range from 20s to 50s. 14 people, including 2 alternatives, are needed. The first potential juror questioned as the process resumed Wednesday was dismissed after he said he would tend to believe a police officer's version of the events over that of a citizen. I'm just going to believe the officer. Yeah, you're gone. CBS Minnesota reports that another potential juror who is black said that the criminal justice system is discriminatory towards people of color. He said he used to live near George Floyd was killed. Asked how he knows racism is an issue in America, he replied, being a black man in America, I experience racism on a daily basis. Chauvin is charged with the murder and manslaughter in the May 25th death of Floyd. A black man who was declared dead after Chauvin, who was white, pressed his knee against his neck for about 9 minutes. Yeah, that's just ridiculous, 9 minutes. I've said this. This is probably what got me banned off of Rumble, because I wasn't on their side of this. Floyd's death, captured on widely seen bystander video, set off weeks of sometimes violent protests across the country and led to national reckoning on racial justice. National reckoning in the name of white supremacy is more like it. The judge said he would be ruled Friday on Nelson's request to delay and move the trial, and another admit Florence arrested in Minneapolis. Cahill previously rejected the request, but said he would reconsider after Nelson argued that new evidence makes it admissible. Drugs were found in December that year during a second search of the car Floyd was in, and were found in January searching the squad car into which the 4 officers attempted to put Floyd. During the first arrest, several that could they have planted that? But during the first arrest, several opioid pills and cocaine were found, and autopsies showed Floyd had fentanyl and methamphetamines in his system when he died. Prosecutor Matthew Frank argued that evidence from the 2019 arrest was prejudicial in an attempt to smear Floyd's character. 3 other former officers faced an August trial of Floyd's death on charges of aiding and abetting second-degree murder and manslaughter. So yeah, I've been saying it from the beginning. I don't think they're going to get a fair trial on this because it's almost impossible to be impartial. Yeah, he was trained to do that, so I don't think you can get murder on him. But 8.5, 9 minutes is ridiculous. So, and the medical report said that it was exacerbated by the whole thing, which means it played a part, and it wasn't like they didn't make Floyd ingest the drugs, but it did play a part in his death. So, like manslaughter. But can we try a man that's supposed to receive the right to a fair trial and a kangaroo court? I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. The judge opened court Wednesday by threatening to remove a media pool and shut down a media center over some reporting on the case. Cahill was visibly angry as he described a pool reporter that included a reporter's attempt to read notepads at the defense and prosecutor's tables, as well as describing security on the courthouse floor where the trial is taking place. Cahill said as many media that posted details about security on the floor should take them down, and that failure to do so could result in them being kicked out. Yeah, that is ridiculous. Yeah, this is how you get in. This is how you mess with us, and this is how you terrorize the courtroom to get what you want. These people think that's just garbage. Good, bad, or ugly, this type needs to end, and people's rights need to be respected. Black, white, yellow, polka dotted. I'm just saying.